What is up everyone, Hawk here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys the best Modern Warfare settings for Warzone and multiplayer. Alright, so make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright, so first is your button layout preset. Alright, so I recommend Tactical Flipped. So what Tactical does, allows it to switch the melee and the crouch button, so it is much easier to slide while running. It just allows better movement, you know, easier slides, and I recommend using Tactical. Alright, and if Tactical doesn't work for you, that's alright. Try something that works for you, but I just recommend Tactical for most people. I also recommend flipping it. So all you have to do to flip it is just press square, and then it flips it. So what that does is it allows the right and left triggers to be switched to the bumpers. So instead of shooting with the triggers, you shoot with the bumpers. It's just faster to shoot, faster to aim down sights. I recommend this. Try it out if you haven't. And alright, let's go to the next one. Alright, so I have stick layout preset default, inverted vertical look disabled, and my horizontal sensitivity and my vertical sensitivity are the same. I recommend that you don't go too low or too high. Usually the default settings is at 4, but I personally think 4 is a little too slow for me, and I think 10 is a little too high for me. So it depends on the gun usually, but I stick to 8 or 9, somewhere around there. I don't know, you could try it out, mess around with it. Like I said, I prefer 8 or 9. That's just personal preference. Make sure you go try it out to see which one fits you best, right? So ADS sensitivity multiplier, usually I recommend this to be around 0.9. You can mess around with it. Usually the default's at 1, but I recommend this is lower. So what it allows it to do is that when you're ADSing, aiming down sights, and you're shooting the opponent, it allows it to like stick to the opponent more. It's the sensitivity of when you're aiming down sights. So the lower it is, the slower it is, and I recommend this to be around 0.9, just so you can have better aim. And this is personally when I go for 0.9 or 0.92. You can try it out, mess around with it, but I recommend around 0.9 to 0.95. Alright, so ADS sensitivity multiplier, some people like it to be higher, like 1.25 or 1.20. I would mess around with it. I find it comfortable to like around 1.05. Again, you can try around. Make sure you find the right sensitivity for you, but I personally play with 1.05. Alright, so I have the aim response curve at standard. You can try dynamic, linear, or standard. I try dynamic, which allows you to snap on 2 targets kind of at the same time, but I prefer standard. Alright, that's just me. You can try it out. Make sure you pick the right one for you. Alright, and then controller vibration, this is key. Alright, have it disabled. You don't want it to be enabled. What it does, it just distracts you if you're in the middle of a gunfight. You don't want that vibration. It's just gonna mess your aim up. You don't want it. Alright, trust me. Alright, so make sure to turn it off. Definitely want that off. Alright, so aim assist standard, obviously, unless you're trying to practice your aim. Alright, you're in a custom lobby, I would not recommend disabling this. Have that on hold, and then contextual tap, this is also key for Warzone. Alright, so you want to have contextual tap, so you don't have to hold the chest or hold the crates, whatever they're called. Alright, it takes a long time. To pick up items. You want that tap, so it's just faster looting, faster pickups, faster to pick up guns, and just faster in general. Alright, you want contextual tap. And then for my slide behavior, again, I have tactical flipped, so I tap my right joystick once, and then that's how I slide. Alright, pretty easy. Just have that on tap. I have this disabled. You can have it enabled. It's your preference. I have it enabled and have that enabled. Alright, and that's it for the controller. Alright, onto general. These next settings are going to be really important. Alright, so make sure you're paying attention. Alright, so brightness, it depends on you. Alright, I have my brightness at 55. You can have it whatever you want. Alright, so film grain, this is really important. If you don't have it at 0 already, make sure to have it at 0. As you can see on the right, it gives you a demonstration what film grain looks like, and without it, you want it without it. The film grain just makes it more grainy and more textured, and you don't want that. Alright, have it at 0. You do not want that. I have that enabled. Subtitles disabled unless you want it. Language English, colorblind disabled. Alright, so this is another key thing. Alright, you want the motion blur disabled. Alright, so what it does, again, it gives you a demonstration on the right. So if you have it on, it blurs while you're turning. It blurs like the world. It blurs everything around you. You do not want that. That is not going to be good for gunfights. Alright, everything is just going to be blurry. You do not want that. You just want a straight, clean turn. Alright, you don't want any of that motion. Same thing with the weapon motion blur. You do not want your weapon to blur. So I would recommend disabling that. Alright, minimap, I recommend you have it a square. It shows more of an area to the map. Alright, it's just overall bigger. I personally like it. Alright, I would recommend to have it a square. If you don't like square, that's personal preference, but I just prefer square. Alright, minimap rotation. I have this disabled. I don't like it to rotate. Again, that's personal preference. If you like your map to rotate while you rotate, that's on you. Alright, if you don't like it, then turn it off. I just recommend disabled. I have all this enabled. Again, that's just the rest of that. Alright, so moving on to audio. Alright, so I have this at boost. I recommend you go boost, high, boost, or just any of those two. Master volume, I recommend this to always be at 100%. Alright, I don't have it at 100% because I don't know why, but I usually have it at 100%, so make sure you have it at 100% as well. Music volume, turn this all the way off. I know I don't have it off, but I'm just using it as like a kind of like a background right now for the video. I just don't want it to be all quiet. Alright, you want the dialogue volume to be between 80 to 90. I keep it at 90. Sometimes it's important, usually it's not that important, but you want this to be around 80, 90. Alright, so you don't want it to be fully blasting, but you do want to hear it. Alright, so keep it around there. The effects volume, keep it at 100%. This is what allows you to hear the footsteps. This is what allows you to hear the gunfights or the gunshots. You want this to be at 100%. Same thing with the master volume, you want it to be 100%, so make sure you have that 100%. I have this disabled. Again, it's music. Alright, this is all voice chat. Alright, you can enable it, disable it, whatever you want. It's just personal preference. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's settings video. If this did help you, or even if you knew some of these but didn't know the rest, alright, make sure to drop a like on this video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Alright, please subscribe. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today's settings video. Alright, thanks for sticking to the end of the video, and yeah, peace.